All right, guys, in today's video, I'm going to be going over the only exercises you need to build a head-turning physique. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, over the last 10 to 15 years, I like to think I have built a pretty decent physique, okay? I'm pretty lean all the time. I have decent muscle. I don't want to blow smoke up my ass too much. But over the last 15 years, I've learned a thing or two, okay? Now, this channel is mostly guys that are looking to get in shape, looking to build muscle, looking to lose fat, okay? So I'm going to direct all my content towards you guys. Now, people, this new day and age, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everyone's preaching everything, okay? But a lot of you guys need to just strip your training back to the basics, okay? If you want to build 90% of the muscle that your body can build, you need to get very, very good at a few key exercises, okay? It is as simple as that, and too many people overcomplicate stuff. You don't need to train 6 days a week. You need to train 3 days a week or 4 days a week, okay? You need to get strong at the basics, and I'm going to go over them from start to finish now. Starting with your shoulders, okay? Guys, if you want to build good shoulders, we have a front head, we have a medial head, we have a rear head. As you can see by my shoulder, I have an overdeveloped medial head of my shoulder, okay? I've done that on purpose. I've spent years and years and years building this up to, little tricep flex, to be rounded. You see my shoulder rounds because that has been built. So the number one most important thing, if you want to build a complete physique, which is what this channel is all about, okay? It's building muscle in all the right places. We don't want to waste time in the gym. We just want to get fucking strong at the basics, and it's going to build the most amount of muscle you need. When you have all that muscle, guys, getting lean is very, very easy, okay? But I'm not going to make this video about getting shredded. This is just straight up building muscle. We want some sort of an overhead press, okay? Now, a lot of people say, you don't need an overhead press, and I believe that is true. You don't really, really need it, but if you want to build a great set of shoulders, I would really recommend getting strong at lifting something over your head. It builds a great midsection, it makes you strong in your lower back, and it's going to train your shoulders just to look good. It's also going to carry over to all of your pressing work, your dip work, which is going to help build more muscle through your pec and through your triceps. So getting good at an overhead press is movement number one. I would do a standing military press. Not on a Smith machine, not on a machine, not seated with dumbbells, a standing overhead press in the rack, come out, 1, 2, press, boom. Get strong at that. All of your pressing movements will increase, all of your dip movements will increase, okay? That leads me into movement 2, okay? The lateral raise. There is no movement that trains the medial head of the shoulder other than kind of raising, this called lateral abduction, going away from the body. Yeah, abducting aliens away, you get it, okay? Think, anytime I do this, the front of my shoulder works, anterior head, any press. Anytime I bring my arm back, up here, row, chin up, the rear head of the shoulder works, okay? But the medial head of the delt doesn't really get touched other than this movement here. So I would recommend drilling the lateral raise twice a week. People say to me, oh, you know, how long? I've done lateral raises, probably 3 sets in my push workout and 3 sets in my upper body workout. So twice a week, 6 sets, hard drop sets, failure sets, high volume, for literally 10 years straight. That's how it's happened for me. So you want an overhead press, you want a lateral raise for your shoulders. Okay, those are the first 2 movements. You then want some sort of an incline press. Now, I really wouldn't recommend getting addicted to flat pressing. I'd recommend an incline press. Not because you're gonna build the upper fibers of your pec, because you know, up here and then this comes down here. You have pec major and pec minor, guys. But if you look, we do have fibers that run across this up. They're called clavicular fibers of the pec. If you look here at my chest, you can see that you do have fibers that run across here. And again, I've done videos on this. If I wanted to build the lower middle part of my pec, I can't because it's just not possible for me, okay? So we've all got different pec genetics, but you want to get very, very good at some sort of a press in this plane because you're going to run over those clavicular fibers. If you're wearing a low-cut t-shirt, a shirt, it looks good. We want to look good. That's the whole point. I'd recommend an incline dumbbell press, an incline bench press, or a good quality incline machine press that you can feel. The best one for you guys, the guys watching this, is the one you do that you feel. If you do an incline bench press and it kills your shoulders, I really wouldn't recommend doing that movement twice a week for the next 20 years. Don't be an idiot just because your mate does it. Pick an incline Smith machine press, a dumbbell press, a machine press. Find the one that works for you. Quick side note, what do you think builds more muscle? Yeah? Incline pressing from 60 kilos to 100 kilos to 120 kilos for 8 to 10 reps over years and years and years, or doing cuffed flies or cable flies with 14 kilos per side on the stack. What builds more muscle? What are we trying to do? Get good at incline pressing if you want to build big pecs, okay? That leads me to another pressing exercise, which is a dip. We also, I'm gonna drill this one home forever, I don't care. Find me someone that can do a weighted dip with 40 kilos attached to their nuts that doesn't have a great upper body, pecs, triceps and delts. It just doesn't happen, okay? Get good at dipping. If you can't dip, you do a bench dip, then you do a machine dip, then you do a parallel bar bodyweight dip, then eventually you add a belt, 2.5 kilos. Okay, once you're dipping 30, 40 kilos, you'll just have great pecs. And that means you'll also have a great incline press, which means you'll probably also have a great press up overhead, which means you're probably gonna have massive triceps. Massive triceps are not built from rope pushdowns. They're built from heavy presses. And the majority of you guys between 20 to 40 years old on this channel want to build more muscle and you want to look better. So get good at incline pressing, get good at dipping, and get good at overhead pressing if you want your pecs, delts, and triceps to look good. Get as strong as possible, anywhere from that 6 to 15 rep range over years and years and years. I still do dips today. I did them when I was 16, I'm now 31. I'm gonna do them in 10 years time because they're the best exercise for me to build this part of my body, okay? That leads me into back. Again, we can do 1,000 different back exercises. There's 3 ways to grow your back. It's with a hard vertical pull, a hard horizontal pull, and lifting something heavy off the floor. We'll get to the lifting something heavy off the floor in a minute. We need some sort of a pull down. Most of you can't do pull-ups or chin-ups. That's okay. Do a lat pull down. Once you're strong on a lat pull down, move to an assisted chin-up. Once you're good at an assisted chin-up, move to maybe a banded chin-up or a bodyweight chin-up. Then eventually move to weighted chin-ups. This is why you need to probably lose some weight as well, because if you're 20 kilos overweight, good luck doing chin-ups, okay? Now, once you get to a point, years and years down the line, where you've got 20 kilos attached to you and you're doing 3 sets of 10 with a weighted chin-up, have a look at your biceps. They'll be bigger than all of your friends that do curls, all these different curls, 50 different sets on biceps. If you want to build big biceps and big triceps and have big arms, dips and chin-ups are the way forward, okay? I recommend a chin-up here in this plane, okay? If you look at your lats, right, God, I hope you can see that and I don't look fat and shit. To shorten this lat, we need to drive our elbow into here, yeah? So it makes sense to be either here or here. If we're doing a wide grip pull-up, pulling ourselves to here, what do you think happens to the lat? You can't shorten the lat. Your elbow's over there. You need to bring that to there. You're not going to a bar and doing this, okay? A neutral grip chin-up or a supinated grip chin-up is going to be your best foot forward. If you are going to go into a pull-up, it's okay, but we want to be just outside of shoulder width there so we can pull ourselves to here. Don't bring those hands out there. It's pointless, okay? Get very good at chin-ups. You will build a great back. You will build great biceps, okay? That brings me to a horizontal row. So again, if you're great at chin-ups, you're gonna have a great muscular back, from your rhomboids to your traps, to your biceps, to your forearms, to your abs, to your lats, to your rear delts. It really is the complete movement to build a good back. Please, guys, don't go to the gym and do isometric single arm rows, single arm pull down on the Nautilus machine, because Chris Bumstead does it. 15 sets here, then your T-bar row, and then you're doing it. Pick 2 to 3 movements, fucking drill them into the ground, train very, very hard, get good at the basics, track your lifts, and go and recover. That's how you build muscle, yeah? Rows. There's 2 ways you can row. Chest supported row or a standing row. The chest supported row, you will bias more of the upper back, yes. The standing row, you're gonna have more ab work come in, more lower back work in, and it does create more thickness and density in the back to become good at heavy rows. So I would recommend having a heavy standing row in your plan. I like a T-bar row, I like a barbell row, I like a pendley row off the floor. Okay, these movements are great. If you're having some back issues, you can move to a chest supported T-bar row or a cable row. But your best bet to build a big complete back from top to bottom, lower back as well, is to get good at a heavy row. Don't change it every 3 weeks. Don't do a T-bar 1 week, barbell the next week, underhand, supinated them. Just pick one and fucking drill it and get good at it. That's how you're going to build muscle, okay? Now, that's kind of the upper body complete. Obviously, there is a bicep curl at the end of your workout. Pick 1 or 2 curls, pick 1 or 2 tricep movements. That's okay. But the bulk of your arm growth will come from heavy rows and heavy presses. Trust me, trust me, trust me. I've been doing this for a long time, okay? Now, with your lower body, there's 3 movements you need to focus on to build a complete physique. It's a squat pattern, it's a hinge pattern, and it's a single leg lunge pattern. Yeah, if you don't have big legs, don't know if you can see my legs here. Let's see if I can show you this. I've got decent legs, guys. Okay, I have decent legs because I squat and I did RDLs, and I did them for literally 10 years straight. Okay, so think about this. If you're going into the gym and you're doing 25 sets on legs, leg extensions to failure, hamstring curls, hip thrusts, then you lunge, then you do pendulum squat, then you leg press, it's too much volume, too much junk volume. You walk in, I've got 3 exercises today for my lower body. That is it. Heavy squat pattern. And if you're doing a heavy squat, like an actual back squat where you're loading the spine, you're not going to then take that into a heavy hinge off the floor. You don't really want to do that in the same workout. So if you're training your legs twice a week, one day you squat, and then you do something like a hamstring curl. The next day you do a heavy RDL or a deadlift, and then you do a hack squat or a pendulum squat. You don't squat into an RDL. If you squat and you squat properly and you do 3 hard, horrendous sets to failure, which all of your training should be close to failure, otherwise you'll never build any muscle anyway, how can you then go and progress an RDL when your body is cooked? Maybe when you're 16, yeah, but trust me, it doesn't work like that, okay? Pick a squat pattern, a back squat, or if you're having issues with your back, then I'd go into a hack squat or a pendulum squat. The leg press doesn't come close to these guys, okay? Now, if you're somebody that has big quads and you're trying to grow your hamstrings, your glutes, and your lower back, I would recommend a hack squat for you so you can drill the RDL, the Romanian deadlift, or a normal deadlift over time. If you're somebody that has tiny quads and you really want to focus on your quads, I'd recommend squatting and then taking a back seat with the RDL unless they're split across the week with an upper, lower, upper, lower. If you're doing a push-pull legs upper, you really want to have them as far away from each other as possible, okay? Again, guys, if you add 50 kilos to your back squat and 50 kilos to an RDL, you'll put more muscle on your legs than most people will in a lifetime, okay? Get good at squatting. Get good at, and the reason why I say RDL over a traditional deadlift, it's a lot of moving parts of a deadlift. A lot of people get hurt. It's more of an all-rounder. If you're talking about building your legs, nothing hits your hamstrings quite like a barbell RDL, okay? So get good at squatting, good at RDLing. You might spend more time focusing on one depending on what your goals are, okay? But try not to do them in the same session, very important. Lastly, we want a single leg exercise, okay? So I want you to focus on either a walking lunge, a Bulgarian split squat, or a regular split squat. If you're massively overweight and you're a beginner, you start with a regular split squat, then you move into a walking lunge, and then you move into a Bulgarian split squat. So many benefits to getting good at Bulgarian split squats. A lot of glute activation. It's very good for your knees and your ankle mobility. It's very good for stretching the back hip flexor whilst loading the front leg, especially if you're office-based and you sit like this all day long and your hip flexors shorten all day. That is all you need, guys. I built my legs from squatting, lunging, and deadlifting. Once you get to a certain level, it's very, very easy to maintain them. I don't have to go to hell and back on these movements. But the majority of you guys that watch these videos, you know, you've got I don't want to be disrespectful, but you're not happy with your physique. You've either got too much fat or not enough muscle. Get good at the basics. Stop doing all of the other shit. This is the stuff that's going to build 90% of your physique. And if you want to learn it and you want me to take a deep dive into all of these topics where I go over absolutely everything, grab my course below, or just leave me a comment, subscribe, send me some abuse. See you in the next one.